I've got to say, you're having a pretty good night when T Bone Burnett and the Queen of Soul herself, Aretha Franklin, show up at your house to jam. So we got royalty here tonight.
As a writer, producer, and performer, T Bone Burnett has blurred the stylistic boundaries of modern music. Taking the roots of country, folk, gospel, and rock and reimagining them in remarkable ways, T Bone not only helps artists define a style and sound for the music they're creating, but brings an innate sensibility and respect for music's origins and heritage. He first came to prominence playing guitar and piano on Bob Dylan's fabled Rolling Thunder Revue. Early on, T Bone pursued parallel paths as a performer and producer, working with Elvis Costello, the Wallflowers, Counting Crows, and Roy Orbison. As a composer, his songs have been covered by numerous artists, such as Los Lobos, Emmylou Harris, Warren Zevon, and Jack White. Working with the Coen brothers as musical archivist on The Big Lebowski led to his groundbreaking work on the soundtrack to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which swept the Grammy Awards. He earned another Grammy for his production work on A Wonderful World by Tony Bennett and K.D. Lang. And T-Bone took home yet another Grammy for his work as executive music producer for the soundtrack to the Johnny Cash biopic, Walk the Line.
Never coming back.
And if you change your way, baby, you might get back to stay, baby.
Burnett continued winning honors, including Grammys for the highly acclaimed multi-platinum Alison Krauss and Robert Plant collaboration, Raising Sand. He landed another Grammy for B.B. King's One Kind Favor, and recently won a phenomenal 13th Grammy Award for his work on the soundtrack to the blockbuster film The Hunger Games. T-Bone's contribution to the world of film continued to grow with his work as executive music producer on Across the Universe, based on the music of the Beatles. But he was catapulted to a new level of distinction when he produced the hit film Crazy Heart. In addition to composing the score and collaborating on its songs, T-Bone won numerous honors, including an Oscar and a Golden Globe for the film's theme, The Weary Kind.
This ain't no place for the weary kind.
In addition to serving as executive music producer and composer for the hit television series Nashville,
You wonder ever you're a bad man?
World needs bad men.
Burnett is also the composer and music producer for the acclaimed HBO series True Detective, whose soundtrack is an inspired and authentic mix of genres, including all forms of rock, pop, blues, country, gospel, hip-hop, and more.
Same old song. I'm going back to Kansas City.
Most recently, T-Bone hand-picked a diverse group of current singer-songwriters, including Jim James of My Morning Jacket, Marcus Mumford, and Rhiannon Giddens, to compose music for Bob Dylan lyrics written at the time of his historic Basement Tapes recordings. These sessions resulted in the Burnett-produced Lost on the River, the new Basement Tapes, both an album and a documentary. He also produced Giddens' debut solo album.
Many people do not realize that musical instruments are really mechanical.
American Epic, an historical music project including a 3-part documentary series and feature-length film for PBS and the BBC, as well as companion album releases. The project explores the early use of a primitive recording machine in the 1920s as record companies for the first time captured the raw expression of an emerging culture. T Bone Burnett is a musical pioneer in every aspect of his art and a driving force in the elevation of our popular culture.